Oh, what up, man?
How's things?
Good, my brother. How you doing?
I'm very well indeed, mate. Very well indeed. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Especially under these circumstances, about to collect a nice little check, get this belt, beat up somebody I don't like. What?
You know. You know.
Drink that one. I'll send you a case, man. After this, once they stop with this corona, we can start sending shit out. I'll send you a case. Drink that one, bro.
I will. No problem, my man. You ready for a conversation? You good? You relaxed? You ready to go?
Let's go, man. Let go. I'm always ready for you.
Okay. Well, first of all,
I'm only doing media with like 3 people by my choice, right? Obviously, I got all these crazy circumstances, so the UFC's being real, like lenient with what I say exactly, and I've only chosen to do media with like 3 people. You're one of them. I like BT Sports, man. You guys are always feel honest, bro.
Thank you very much, buddy. Much appreciated. You got to talk to me about the flight then, because this is in fact, don't talk to me about the flight yet, because this is mad. How have we ended up in this situation right now? When we spoke to each other in April, we were talking about the prospect of this fight. Negotiations were ongoing. I left that conversation thinking, we're going to see Masvidal, we're going to see Usman, we're going to see the title. That's what we're going to see. And then obviously that wasn't necessarily the next steps. So what happened in the last couple of days to put you in Abu Dhabi right now?
Well, I'll go back to the beginning. I know a lot of fighters don't like to touch subject on it, especially the kiss-ass ones, but I will because I got no filters on my tongue. But the UFC was not coming to terms with me on a deal. The deal that they put on the table was very honest crap. Between me and you, they were just not what me and my team felt I was half with. So we passed on the deal. We said, okay, well, do what you want to do, And so they found the cheapest bidder, like always, because that's what a lot of times happens. Like, well, if you don't want to take it for this, we'll find somebody to do it for cheaper, because maybe where they're from, the dollar goes a lot longer than where I'm from, So go ahead, go do that. Find the cheaper person. I'm gonna fight for what's mine, for what's right as well. So that fell off, and immediately I told Abraham and a couple of people close to me, I said, God doesn't like when people bully me. This is gonna bite him in the ass. And sure enough, I'm here. I'm here.
I was told that it was you, once obviously the information came that Gilbert had tested positive and he couldn't make the title fight, that it was actually you that put your hand up and said, listen, man, I'm ready to go. Short period of time. It wasn't anybody approaching you. You made that decision. You're the one that said, let's go.
Well, Abraham called me and said, what's up? What do you think of this? I was like, if they're gonna pay for me to play, then I'm in. And they gave a call to Abraham. They started talking to my management. That was on Friday night. Saturday was 4th of July. I went over to Malky's house for a barbecue with my family. We were hanging out, eating food, talking shit. And Malky was and Abraham were talking to UFC back and forth. It took a while. It took like 2-3 hours. We had a paper napkin and a pen, and we were writing numbers down, and we were chopping this up and doing this and doing that. And it took some time, but we came to an agreement that I felt comfortable with. I said, okay, I don't feel like I'm getting taken advantage of. I'll take this deal.
So you're happy with the money?
I'm happy. I could be happier, but I'm happy.
These things going forward, there always seems to be, when someone gets either a new deal or a fight deal, it's never a one-fight deal.
Never.
So have you had to sign a new multi-fight deal in order to stay with the UFC?
Something like that, yeah, Yeah, like a 15-fight deal or something crazy. Yeah, it's the standard. You don't get to be a free agent and see what you're worth out there, And I don't want to fight for another company, because I'll say this, just like I don't like to lie. I like to speak from the chest. UFC is the best company in the world, bar none. There's nothing. The number 2 company is a long way away from them, So I'll say the truth. The UFC is the best competition, the best talent, and on top of that, they have something that I personally like a lot, which is USADA, which might not be 100% perfect, but it's better than a lot of these organizations that have like a Wild West going on. You can tell guys are juicing to the gills, and it's just like common in a lot of other organizations, not in the UFC. And that's something that I care about deeply.
How's preparation been, man? Have you as obviously we're living in a weird time, so have you been able to prepare for this on given such short notice?
Well, man, it's just walking in faith at this point. I got a lot of faith in myself. I got a lot of faith in my God. I know what I could do. And the guy across the cage, I don't got faith in him. I don't believe who he says he is. I believe who I say I am. So I'm gonna go in there and prove it. The preparation in 6 days, all I could really do is just cut this weight. You know, since I got the call on Saturday night when we made it official, I was about 21 pounds, something like this, to go. So it's that's been the preparation. That's gonna be the only preparation, is just making that weight safest and as easiest way possible. Get in the cage and do what I do naturally. You know.
How was that pizza on the plane?
It's good. We stopped in the,
Listen, you let me down because you only went one slice. Normally you double.
oh yeah, man, I'm cutting weight, man. And I just literally, I took a bite. I hadn't eaten in hours, and you know, all my team was eating pizza, and I was like, I could take a bite probably. And you know, it was good. Everybody likes me with the whole pizza thing, so I figured I'm in Italy. I got to take a bite of this pizza. You know, who knows when I might be back here. So I took a little bite of it. It's phenomenal.
How long were you there for? Was it just purely refueling?
Yeah,
get a pizza and get back out.
Yeah, and they got us out of the plane, and they searched the plane, and they freaking, you know, put us through a little security procedure. And we were there for like, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. Got back to the plane, took off, landed in Dubai.
Have you managed to speak to Mike yet, Mike Brown?
Mike Brown, yeah, I'm talking to him all the time. He's good, thank God. He's asymptomatic. He has like no symptoms. He's good. He doesn't even have a cold or a cough or anything. You know, he's great.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, there's been a few guys, obviously, in that ATT gym that have been affected. So we're sending them all best wishes. Pedro as well, I think. And
it sucks, man. It sucks, bro. Because we've been. Dan Lambert's been doing a great job of not letting nobody into the gym. Just the guys that, hey, you got to fight and you have a contract, you can get into the gym. So I'm assuming Dan's gonna it's gonna be like a communist regime over there now. He's gonna run a real tight ship to make sure that all of us stay healthy, you know.
Mm-hmm. I spoke to Max Holloway a little earlier on. He was paying you a lot of compliments. We were talking about obviously taking fights at short notice and what have you. And my analogy was that on Fight Island, when someone does that, you kind of are going to find out who the fighters are. There's a lot of athletes that become fighters. There's fighters that become athletes when they follow their path in the UFC. And there's a very different type of mentality to that human being. And we'll find out who they are on Saturday night.
Yes, sir. You already know who it is. But I'll extra give you those convictions, you know?
When we spoke last year, I remember you telling me about visions that you've had and epiphanies that you've had and thoughts that you've had about the plan, the 12-month, 18-month, 24-month plan. Where was this? Because I know that this was part of it. Titles and belts was in there. Was it now, or was it a little bit later down the line?
What? Let me think of a good way to explain this.
Because you always insinuated that was there. You never gave me a concrete thing of saying, well, this is when it's going to happen. But I could tell with the way that you were speaking that it was in the plan. So yeah. Where was it time-wise in your plan?
We definitely wanted to fight for the belt. Didn't matter who was holding it, but I just definitely wanted to fight for the belt and take it off whoever's hands they had it. The plan was to do it this year, was to do it, you know, once April came around, I was already ready to compete. My hands were pretty healed up from the Nate Diaz and the Ben Askren camp. So I was ready to compete, and I had stem cell in, I think it was December, like towards the end of December. So come April, man, I was ready to go. I had been in the gym already like a good 6 weeks of doing general condition of like running, lifting weights, swimming, things like that, you know. And then I started cracking the pads. I was like, man, I feel great. I could compete anytime after April. So I didn't have a timeline exactly, but I just knew I wanted to compete. I wanted to either compete for the belt or the fight that would put the most amount of money in my pocket. Mm-hmm. I did both in one now.
Talk to me about the week then now, because you're in quarantine now, I assume. You've just landed in Abu Dhabi. Have you already had your tests and various things like that, and now you've got to be locked away for a period of time?
I've had about maybe 3 or 4 tests already since not since I've landed here, on the way here, you know, like in Vegas. I did tests in Florida, did tests in Vegas. I did a test at the airport when I got to Abu Dhabi. I did another test here. So it's been a testful day, to say the least.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm in quarantine until we get the results. Originally, they told me the results are going to take 48 hours. So I'm going to be in my room, in this room that you're seeing here. Mm-hmm. But I also have another room next door that has a little bit of space so I could train in it, because I told them, I go, if I'm taking 2 days off, just forget about it. I won't be able to make the weight. So they did everything possible to make sure that I could train. You know, in the other room, I'll make it a little hotter. I got some mats in it. I'll be able to roll, jump rope, put the suit on, and just work the weight off one way or another. You know, so it's very strange situations that I'm working under, but I can't complain because, man, at least I can provide for my family and myself. The whole world is going through these strange, crazy conditions. So I'm just thankful to God that I'm even able to take place in this movement, you know, to be provide.
I know that we just mentioned it about the way that you think and the way that you visualized all this type of stuff. And you've just mentioned God there. I know you're a spiritual guy. This was all part of the plan. Definitely. And that's why when I speak to you, I get a bit of a kick out of it, because there's that realism in your eyes when you're speaking, that this was just part of the journey anyway. I was supposed to be here. The conversation was supposed to go this way, where I didn't get what I got the original time, and now we're here, ready to rock and roll on an island, yes, on a beach somewhere in the middle of Abu Dhabi, man. Crazy.
Yes, sir. 6-day notice, 20 pounds to go. And when I first get the call, my biggest opponent is Corona. I got to make sure I don't catch Corona all the way here. So I got to also defeat this Corona virus, whether it's man-made or it actually happened, how they say it happened, who knows. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy times we're living in, man. And besides the Corona, everything else I've dealt with in my life numerous of times. Short notice fights, cut a lot of weight, knock out an undefeated guy that's never been knocked out, and yada, yada, yada. All those things I've already check marked off. So the only thing I have to defeat now is Corona.
Yeah, and obviously that pizza that you're just eating on the plane, mate, you know? You've got it.
Don't say the whole thing. I just took a bite, man. Don't be scared.
Yeah, I think you just give it a sniff, really, didn't you? You know what I mean? I get you. Look, I love the way as well that Kamaru in a minute, but I love the way as well, the way that you have approached questions of what happens next. And you've mentioned Nate's name, and I think a lot of fans love the honor that you kind of stick on fights. Like you've mentioned two fighters that maybe a lot of fighters or fans maybe wouldn't have gone towards. You went towards Nate again, and Stephen Thompson as well, mentioning his name of fights that you would like to do in the not too distant future.
Yes, sir. Definitely. I felt Thompson straight up, no excuses, nothing, just beat me that night. He was just a better man that night. Straight up won. There's nothing I can say about that. A lot of the rest of my losses, especially in the UFC, they're arguable. A lot of people lean towards me, like the one before that, Damian Maia. Half the crowd was saying me, half the crowd was saying Damian, you know, and that one's fair to me too as well. You know, that's one that I'd love to run back as well, but he's not on a winning streak. But if he was to get on a winning streak, I'd love to run that one back too. But definitely Thompson. I feel I learned a lot from the Thompson fight. Not just about fighting, but about myself and how much I can push even when situations might not be the best at the moment, you know. So I just I feel I have to get that rematch, you know. No matter what, we got to get it.
I have a funny feeling that maybe after Saturday, a certain retired Irish fighter might mention your name, though.
It might. A lot of people are going to mention my name after Saturday, you know. But I'll say this: whoever's going to be next, first it has to go through the UFC and me. We have to come to an agreement of what's fair. Now, I'm not asking for boatloads of money. I'm asking just for what's fair. For what I bring in, that percentage of pay-per-view that I bring in, I want a bigger piece of the pie off that. I'm not telling you to give me more money just to show up and fight. No. I'm telling you what I do bring in. If 100 million people buy fucking pay-per-view, well, I want a better number than you guys have been giving me, you know? And I feel that's only fair.
Well, you've got genuine numbers now, because there was obviously trending numbers before you were announced part of this card. And then there's going to be the reality on Saturday night, and there's only one thing that's changed, really, isn't there? You know what I mean?
Only one thing, you know. So if that doesn't let the UFC know, and all the people that were calling me like a pussy, like he was scared to fight Usman, or you're asking for too much money, those are not my fans. You know, a lot of people been I want to address it. A lot of people have been sending me messages. Man, I can't believe I doubted you, bro. I'm such a big fan again. I'm like, nah, you were never a fan. If you said that I was scared of this guy, like of all the monsters that I've tamed, that I've gone against. You're telling me I was scared of this guy? Then you were never a fan of me. You don't know nothing of me. So that's one thing I could respect if somebody just doesn't like my style, says I'm no good. Hey, everybody has an opinion. But those wishy-washy fans and stuff, I don't need you, man. Never have, never will. You know.
Where does the animosity come from with Kamaru?
I think mainly because he's just an idiot and he doesn't know how to promote himself in the space without having to dim somebody else's light. Just having to be negative all the time, you know, towards everybody. And I'm not for it. You know, I remember like years ago when we first met, he's asking for pictures and stuff. We met for the Ultimate Fighter, and you know, a couple like 2 years later, he's tweeting to me, talking saying that I turned down a fight with him. I never had even gotten the offer. I was an ex-alone in a jungle. I never even got the offer to fight you, moron. But he's the biggest Twitter champ that we've had besides the other guy with the fragile jaw that wears the red hats. They're the champions of Twitter. It's just something that I don't like. You know, I get it if the beef is genuine, you know, but these guys go out of their way, as you know better than me, to promote negativeness and that's not there. They want to be Conor, but they're not. Conor was able to do it and create his own space, and it worked well for him. Not everybody's going to be Conor. Not everybody's going to be GSP. Not everybody's going to be Bruce Lee. You got to be yourself most of the time. I just think for future generations, we don't need this idiocracy, you know, this these guys bring to the game, that only being negative and talking bad about everybody that you're going to compete against is the only way to generate money and stuff, you know. Maybe there are those foul negative individuals, like the guy with the red hat. He's always just negative. He's just a bad person. I don't know Kamaru personally, and I don't care to either. But from what I could see, and every time he does an interview or anything, it's just a negativeness, trying to disrespect people. And I'm not going to take no crap from nobody, especially that idiot, you know.
Does it make it easier preparing for a fight when there's animosity?
Definitely. A little bit sweeter, you know. Because there's just some guys in my life that I won't lose to under no circumstances. Usman's one of them.
How does this fight play out then, man? Talk me through it Saturday night.
I baptized his ass in front of the whole world. Public baptism, July 11th. That's what I'm inviting you. Not to a fight, but to a baptism. Change this man's life. I come in complete violence, but I'm going to leave his ass in peace, man. You watch.
And then this?
Oh, we've been doing good, man. Some good news coming. Hopefully, things got slowed down for England, but I think we'll be touching down in 2021. We'll be in England like midway through the year, hopefully. If this whole Corona thing hadn't happened, we would have probably been there at the end of the year today.
I'm glad you've addressed that, because there's people on my social media that have obviously seen you drinking that, me drinking that, and they've asked where this fire water comes from. I said, listen, man, you're going to have to get onto Jorge. You're going to have a word with him to get it into the UK, because people are queuing up at the supermarkets ready to go.
We've been busting our asses to get it over there, but just this whole Corona thing has been a unexpected punch to the nutsack.
Listen, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me, man. I know that it's late over there and what have you. You've only just arrived.
I'm good, man. I just got here. I was sleeping on the plane, so I'm not going to sleep anymore. I'm probably going to roll a little bit, lose a little bit of sweat, put the sauna suit on, jump rope, so we're good, man.
Oh, good, man. Listen, great to see you.
Great to see you.
We are stacked. We are absolutely revved up for this at the weekend, man. Go well, brother. Go well. I look forward to speaking to you soon when it's not over Skype. All right.
Yes, sir. I'll be seeing you soon, my brother.
Take care.
Take care, man.
Thanks, Jorge.